Hello and welcome back to the Gallant Goblin. I'm Grady Wong, and today we are covering the last of our Spelljammer ship scale mini boxes with the one you've all been waiting for, Asteroid Encounters. This box has 7 pre-painted minis from WizKids, of which only 2 are rocks. And thank you to WizKids for sending it to us to review. You can go back to the beginning of this series, which covered both the Welcome to Wildspace box and my thoughts on ship scale minis for 5th edition by clicking the eye in the corner of the screen. But before we dive in, our sponsor Hit Point Press is finally compiling their biggest, baddest big bads together in not a bestiary, but a bestiary. Yes, the Big Book of Big Bads is a 2-volume collection coming to Kickstarter. The first volume is 25 existing big bads plus 6 new bonus ones, each complete with backstory, tactics, minions, and more. The second volume is called Creatures and Curios and will feature over 100 additional monsters and magic items, plus the books present the Big Bad Bureau as an organization that you can work for to take down big bads, tying together the various boss fights into a longer campaign. You can back the Kickstarter today at bigbads.com or using the links in the video description below or the eye in the corner of the screen, which lets them know we sent you. Now let's start with the elephants in the room, the asteroids. The larger asteroid is about 1.5 inches in diameter, that's 38 millimeters in metric, while the smaller asteroid is about 1 inch or 25 millimeters. In ship scale terms, that makes them 75 feet and 50 feet wide respectively. If you must have a complete asteroid collection, there is another asteroid mini in Wildspace Ambush. As we discussed in that video, asteroids don't really have stats or rules governing them for space combat in the official rules, but the lore discusses strategies where creatures and ships may hide behind asteroids to ambush people, or creatures may live on them, so they may be useful as hazards or obstacles, as well as just set dressing to add some flavor to the emptiness of space. Speaking of creatures that live on asteroids, next we have the Megapede. As the name implies, these are gargantuan centipedes. They are ambush predators who live in underground caverns, like you might find on an asteroid, or burrowed under sand. They have a poison bite, but are even more dangerous than they appear, with an ability to drain life from all creatures near it, and another ability that deals psychic damage against a single creature. The CR11 Megapede comes on a large base, and there's no stat blocks for similar looking creatures that map to that size. The giant centipede is a small CR1/4 beast from the basic rules, and the necrotic centipede from Descent into Avernus is a CR11 huge creature. We get a sort of monster, sort of ship mini with the Esthetic. These jellyfish-like creatures are living creatures created by the Rhaegar, but they have little sentience and serve as a spelljamming vessel for the Rhaegar who created it. In turn, the Rhaegar can pilot the Esthetic or command it to attack. It has the ability to suppress another ship's spelljamming helm, disabling it for up to 20 days. The Esthetic doesn't move when its creator isn't in control, but will still act to defend itself if attacked. Since it can't be used as a spelljamming vessel by anyone else, it's given a stat block in Boo's Astral Menagerie with a CR of 12. Our remaining minis are all ships. The Wasp ship continues the theme of animal-shaped vessels. These are some of the most affordable ships out there and are favored by pirates for their speed and aristocrats for use as pleasure yachts. They have a small crew of 5 but are also lightly defended with room for only 1 ballista. With a medium base, you could attempt to pass it off as a giant Wasp, which is a beast in the basic rules with a CR of a half. Next is the Living Ship, which may be my favorite spelljamming ship. The name comes from the full-grown treant that grows on the aft deck. The treant is part of the ship, and while the ship could continue to operate if the treant dies, the treant can't be replaced. After each long rest, the treant heals the hull of the ship and refreshes the ship's air envelope, so the crew doesn't have to worry about air quality. While the ship resembles a space galleon in appearance, it is much smaller with stats closer to the Wasp ship. Finally, we have the Hammerhead ship. This big ship is known for its large cargo hold, making it popular with pirates and merchants. They are also heavily defended, with 1 ballista and 2 mangonels, plus the Hammerhead at the front, which can function as a ram that causes the ship it's hitting to take more damage. It is an impressive vessel, though the mini is clearly a ship and cannot double as a Hammerhead shark. This is not a great set to my eyes. It lacks a coherent theme around which you could build a sensible encounter, and most of the minis can't be repurposed for other creatures. It kind of works as an eclectic collection of ships, but the ships here are kind of the leftover ships that didn't fit in any of the other sets. So there's nothing except maybe the living ship that's a super cool must-have. While it has the most minis out of all the ship scale boxes, it definitely seems like quantity over quality to me. If you're a collector or planning to run a lot of Spelljammer ship combat, then by all means go for it. It does what it's advertised to do. But if you have a limited budget or don't have a strong affinity for Spelljammer, the other ship scale boxes are likely going to give you better bang for your buck. The Asteroid Encounters Ship Scale Minis box set is available now and has a manufacturer suggested retail price of $59.99, that's US, so you can shop around for sales. This concludes our coverage of the Ship Scale Minis for Spelljammer. Based on the comments we've gotten on previous videos, some of you are going, finally. It's definitely been something different, which I appreciate, and I'd be really excited for these if D&D had supported ship scale combat better. There is still some more Spelljammer coverage to come, like the Temple of Light Showdown box set, which, like the ship scale minis, I have thoughts about. After that, I might tackle some Onslaught content. If that sounds exciting, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell button to be notified when we release new videos. Thank you for watching today. If this video was helpful to you, hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to check out our sponsor, Hit Point Press's Big Book of Big Bads on Kickstarter now, bigbads.com. You can also join our Discord using the link in the video description, as well as find us on Facebook and Instagram. Stay safe, have fun, love each other, and we'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.